This is the Dogwood, the worst nightmare of my childhood. Submitted by Jeremiah Smith. I lived in a cabin-like house with my parents in California when I was 8, maybe 9. And it started as one of those dreams where you're being chased in the forest and you don't know what it is. Now that's the best part, not knowing. Then I look back, and that was the biggest mistake. What I saw it looked like a pale, bony man with broad shoulders and an elongated snout like a dog and claws. And it had blood splattered all over it. And its eyes, those horrible black sunken eyes with tiny white dots I can only assume were pupils. And it was running on all fours like an animal. When I looked at it, it made the most ear-piercing screech. I tripped and held my ears down. I just wanted to wake up. But I couldn't. And I felt real pain. And it caught up to me. And I didn't think it was a dream anymore. I realized and accepted death. But then it just stood there and looked at me. And crouched over me and started making a clicking noise. That horrible, infernal damn clicking. It sounded like when you play an old movie. Then it killed me. Drove its claws directly into my stomach and killed me. And as I bled out and my eyes shut, I opened them. In a cold sweat I awoken. And it was only midnight. The dream wasn't over. And it was only getting worse. Whatever the hell that thing was, it must have killed my family. At least that's what I can assume. As I got up and looked into the hallway, I saw blood splattered all over the floor. Then, a scream. My 3-year-old sister, screaming, terrified. So I ran outside and saw nothing. Not a person, not a creature, nothing. Just endless trees and darkness. I thought since it was dark, maybe it wasn't blood on the floor. Maybe it could have been just water, and reflecting off the moonlight appeared darker. And I was just spooked from my dream. But maybe that all changed. Maybe it wasn't a dream. Maybe it was reality. Because I ran back to see if that was blood on the floor, quickly. And my house suddenly bursted into flames. I ran to save my family if I could even do anything, and then it exploded. That thing's eyes were peering into my soul once more, and its mouth opened wide as I glared back into the darkness. I woke up. It was the middle of the night. I had to make sure this wasn't another nightmare, but I realized. In the nightmare, I couldn't feel my feet. I was in a cold sweat, and my feet and hands were freezing now. I knew it wasn't a dream anymore, and I was happy. Or at least, I would have been if I didn't hear tapping on my window. I only wish I didn't look into the window. I glared over, and that thing, it was there, looking right at me. I hid under my blanket and started crying and praying. Then I heard that awful clicking once again. It was over by morning. I told my parents, but they didn't believe me, of course. We moved from that house not too long from that incident. 'Cause soon my little sister started hearing the clicking and tapping. I'm 22 now. When I was 14, I started hearing the tapping. It never stopped when I was 8. I thought it was going away when we moved, but it didn't. Now I still hear the tapping. That infernal goddamn tapping. But I just pretend I'm sleeping, hoping it'll go away. Hoping. Until next time, please submit more stories and like and subscribe. Now good night, you monsters.